The whole idea is these are
welcome to Around the Blockchain on the new channel. You're a real one if you're watching right now. Thank you for subbing to the new channel. Make sure you hit that like and follow button. I am the DZ today, I suppose. It's going to be a fantastic episode. We're talking about the Gemini spat, the Winklevi versus Barry. Also, the plot is thickening. What is happening with Genesis and DCG? And finally, we're going to talk a little meme coin, this time on the Solana ecosystem. Did a meme coin, did a dog coin, did it save Solana? We're going to look right into that. It's going to be a great episode. On the top right, you might notice, new graphics. Looks very, very fancy. It is Caleb Franzen, always putting out the best info in his Twitter spaces. Make sure you follow him on Twitter. Really, really good stuff. Then first time on the show, it is David Gokhstein. Is it Gokhstein or Gokhstein? Did I say that correctly, David?
Whichever. As long as you don't say anything else, we're fine.
All right, we're one of those two, 50-50. You're probably going to get it right. And on the bottom left, we have Cowboys of Crypto. He's going to be holding down, always bringing the hot takes and those fire metaphors. Can't wait to see what he has this week. And Ben Armstrong holding it up on the top left. Ben, I'm going to be relying on you. I can't wait to get some of these hot takes, especially you and DCG. It's going to be pretty interesting. But like I said, we're talking about Winklevoss twins. They started with a letter. Those who don't know, Winklevoss, they have a little bit of a little product, and then that product has a earn feature. The earn feature is using something from Genesis. Genesis is a DCG subsidiary, all owned by Barry Silbert. We're not going to read the entire letter. I'll just throw some of the main points. They're stating that DCG owns its own company, owes its own company $1.6 billion. More importantly, Winklevoss said they've been trying to work with DCG in good faith since mid-November. They're saying Silbert is hiding behind bad faith stall tactics and refusing to agree to a timeline for the repayment of Gemini's customer funds. Now, DCG owns Genesis and Gemini, and there's all these moving parts. Ben Armstrong, could you just give us a little bit of a brief rundown on what exactly is DCG and how does this, everyone's saying Barry, he's paying his left pocket from his right pocket. What does that mean exactly here?
Well, the right side, if you're right-handed, is the one you throw from.
Okay.
So that's how you.
And that's the way you shake hands with the right hand, never the left.
That would be if you look. This is a pocket here. So if you look, like I have my wallet in my pocket. Look at that, boys.
Fiat.
All right, listen. Okay, that's fiat. Okay, so here's the deal. DCG stands for Digital Currency Group. To understand Digital Currency Group, you have to go back further, okay? You have to go back to Barry Silbert when he initially got his $15 million investment from Li Ka-shing, a Hong Kong tycoon involved in the CCP, number 2 and the most dangerous organization in China. He bought 25% of Vancouver in the early 90s. This is a bad guy for 100%. He is the one. Basically, Barry Silbert built Digital Currency Group with Chinese money. And which is very fascinating when you really look at that. The beginning of it, I believe, was called Genesis Markets, or I think it was called Genesis Markets at first, and then they opened up their own trading desk and they renamed it. And then from that, they built out Grayscale, they built out Digital Currency Group, they renamed it, and of course, within their portfolio, they have CoinDesk. So they have the number one mouthpiece. You look at all their investments. They're invested in Basic Attention Token, a Brave browser. They're invested in Ripple. They're invested in Coinbase. They're invested in Decentraland. They're invested in Abra. They've got their hands in everything in crypto, right? So Barry Silbert grew a $15 million CCP investment all the way to this gigantic multi-billion-dollar company. But the problem is that they're having issues financially. They are said to be insolvent. They can't pay Gemini what they owe Gemini. Silvergate is tossed in the middle of this all somewhere too. But this is going to actually be much different than these other insolvencies. Okay. And here's why. Barry Silbert has money and investments that are not included in the Digital Currency Group portfolio. And if worse comes to worse and he has to file bankruptcy, he actually has the money and investments in Circle and in another crypto project, from what I've been told, to cover the entire insolvency, to cover the $1 billion. So it may have to get liquidated, but there's money back there to actually fill it up. So what Barry Silbert, from what I understand, is trying to do He's trying to leverage those investments that he has as collateral to get loans from some other big players in crypto, so he doesn't have to sell his investment. And here's what everybody's waiting for. I don't think everybody's really put this together, but you guys understand, right? Like, all of these companies are just waiting for Bitcoin to go back up. If Bitcoin goes back up to $30,000 soon, based on a like a bull trap or something like that, that will solve a lot of these problems very quickly. And then hopefully they'll learn the lesson and not get in these issues again when the price of Bitcoin goes down. If they're able to solve this problem in the short term, then over the long term, when the bull market comes back, we'll see a ton more companies rise up and make a bunch of money. And then the next bear market, we'll probably see a lot of these insolvencies come and go because, people just don't they don't seem to learn these lessons on the institutional level. They're just used to being able to do whatever they want. So that's a little bit about how it started, where Digital Currency Group is, and then kind of how it affects the.
I'm glad you brought up the part where everybody's just essentially waiting for Bitcoin to go up. I actually have a picture of Barry Silbert. You might be picturing this older Klaus Schwab type, Bond villain.
Comb your hair, Barry.
No, that's him right there. He looks like a illegitimate son of a former UK prime minister. Now, Caleb, I want to ask you about the, everybody's waiting for Bitcoin to go up to 30K. If it would have done that, a lot of issues just never would have materialized. Possibly 3AC liquidations, were possible FTX collapse. Also, everything that we're seeing with DCG. So do you think that there's any chance for some manipulation behind the scenes, or do you think that they're already trying to manipulate the Bitcoin price to push it up, and so they can maybe keep everyone at bay long enough for their assets to say, hey, I've been over collateralized. What are you talking about?
So first and foremost, thanks for having me on. As yields rise and asset prices go down, liquidity gets crushed, and you start to expose naked swimmers, right? And that's the classic kind of Warren Buffett quote. There's another quote that I love, which is, nothing changes sentiment quite like price. And so when price falls and you start to expose these bad players, malinvestments in the market, what you start to see happen is that over leveraged investors, firms, companies, the whole nine yards start to go under, right? And so that was a big theme for 2022 within the crypto market. Whether or not these companies are able to kind of materialize some sort of false pump, if you will, I don't necessarily think that that's really something too possible, because if they could, why haven't they already? We've been in a bear market for well over 12 months. And so obviously, as prices kind of been around this $17,000 level, let's just call it for, I don't know. I mean, you could really say since June, right? I know we got back up to the $25,000 range, but as soon as we kind of come back down, we made new lows. And basically for the past 2-3 weeks, there's been zero price action at all for Bitcoin. And so if these firms or companies or institutions had the ability to pump the price, why haven't they already? So from my perspective, that essentially just shows that they can't, right? Which is what we want to see.
No, I think that's a good
point. To be able to do that.
I totally agree. And yeah, it's a lot easier when there's a smaller market cap. But the analogy I like to use, it's easy to move a pebble around, but it's a lot harder to move this gigantic boulder, which is our $800 billion total crypto market cap now. All right, now, David, there's also some more entanglements happening. It looks like they're trying to, the Winklevi, they're trying to give Barry basically a hard line here. January 8th of this year, they want them to publicly commit to a resolution and stop hiding behind these lawyers, stop hiding behind these investment bankers, and stop hiding behind this quote-unquote due process. What do you think is going to happen with this? It's $900 million that Barry has to get up, to come up with potentially by this Sunday. Do you think that this is going to happen, or are they going to continue to kick the can down the road and possibly lead to some bankruptcy proceedings from Gemini?
I don't honestly. I was thinking about this today. I don't. I don't see it happening. I see. I see them filing bankruptcy. I mean, that might be the unpopular opinion, but this is the last domino that has to fall. And I also don't like Barry at all. And that goes back to his little tweet that he put out there about guys. You had some. I think I don't want to. I'm going to quote him wrong, but I think he said something towards guys. You had fun with Dogecoin, but it's now time to go ahead and go into Bitcoin because I'm going to go ahead and short the hell out of it. So karma finds a way to go ahead and come around. It sucks for the industry. Absolutely, it will suck for the industry, but I'd rather get this out of the way so we can restart and get right on the right track back again.
I definitely agree. All right, now Cowboys of Crypto, what do you have to say to the customers out there? There's a lot of customers. They put their faith in those OG Facebook twins. You know, they're really good at rowing a boat. I thought they'd be really good at holding my Bitcoin. What should these customers be expecting? Is there a resolution on the horizon, in your opinion? Does it look like they're going to be able to get some funds? If so, what's that looking like?
First of all, DZ, thanks for having me on the channel. Guys, this layout is amazing. Be sure to like the channel, like this video for the layout. Be sure to get the word out on Around the Blockchain, new channel, guys. This is a great community, and I'm so glad to be here. Now, what do I care about a lover's spat between 2-3 gamblers of people like you guys ever see the Spider-Man meme where the Spider-Men are like looking at each other and pointing at each other? This is ridiculous. The open letter is like a public pathetic attempt to buy clout with everyone. It's like announcing to the world, like, I'm donating to charity. I've got this, I got this pin on my shirt and you're safe with me. That other person's a scammer and I'm not a scammer. Oh, I'm of the people. I'm just worth $1.1 billion. Like it's not, it's so wrong with me. Like to me, this open letter is just, it's smoke and mirrors. They're trying to play this public persona. Let it be known, responsibility for your financial well-being is your responsibility. Okay, and so that's the first word. The brothers, the twins, no problem. The DCG, that group, that's the empire, right? In the Star Wars saga, they're big centralized business. They're trying to manipulate markets. They're trying to manipulate coins or however they're trying to do, but they're taking investors' money. They're not here for your safety or mine. And finally, the 3AC guy, Zoo, that guy is a spineless dweeb he's a leech trying to find someone bigger to blame, okay? They saw that DCG's taking some heat, so they jump into this Twitter spat and they're like, oh yeah, look how bad those guys are. I'm not innocent. And yet they got liquidated like a chocolate bar in a microwave. So he's a scammer. He's slimy. There's snakes in the grass. Look, this is like you guys ever see Breaking Bad where there's like a standoff between 3 parties? The fact is they're all bad actors. No one's trying to, look out for your safety or mine or your financial well-being or mine. They're just all crypto nerds of bad acting or Breaking Bad. Don't be fooled by the public tweets. Don't be fooled by the open letters. Your responsibility for your safety is your own, and that's how crypto should be.
Yeah, T.O. is hitting the heck out of that bell on his armchair right there. He's ding, 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 over and over and over again, because I know he is disgusted. Well, it looked like the plot also thickened a little bit. There's a new player that decided to enter the arena. I'm talking about Zusu. He decided to release a tweet. Here's a rough summary. Basically, they conspired with FTX to attack Luna and made a fair bit doing so, saying DCG and Gemini, they could have calmly restructured then. He had some other quotes, like FTX proceeded to misdirect for months, and also said, like FTX spent 6 months taking more deposits while insolvent. Now, Ben, he's coming up. Someone says smoke and mirrors. Zuzu, is he just trying to point at some smoke and mirrors and say, hey, look, take a little heat off of me. Maybe it's not even my fault. Do you think there's a little finger pointing here? What's your take on this whole situation?
No, I've been told this is true. I'm told this is 100% true. What they're not telling you is Goldman Sachs and Circle involved in it as well. So, this people are wondering why all of a sudden we started going after Circle last week. It's because of this. It's because of their ties to Digital Currency Group. You can't really talk about Digital Currency Group without talking about Circle. Digital Currency Group made a $440 million investment into Circle last year in May. Right before that, they made a $25 million investment into Circle. To understand the overlap between Digital Currency Group and Circle is to understand every single thing that is wrong in crypto, everything that we don't want with the traditional finance people. Barry Silbert is the exact kind of person we do not want in crypto. Chamath, Paula Hapatia, exact kind of person we don't want in crypto. Kevin O'Leary, exact kind of person that we do not want in crypto. These are traditional finance guys, and they're trying to bring the air of elitism to crypto, to where you only can be of a certain level or a certain type of investor to be able to make money. Unless you're a VC and you're laughing in the background while you're dumping on retail like Chamath does, then you're not a real OG in the traditional finance space, So that's really what the problem here is. Suzu is dead on. I was told Suzu wanted to talk to me and give me some information at some point a couple months ago, or about a month ago. I never was able to make that connection. But what he's saying is true. When people find out who leaked the FTX balance sheet to CoinDesk, people are going to be like, what? And this is what I'll tell you. All this stuff Digital Currency Group is going through right now, they did it to themselves.
All right, Zoo, did you hear that? Slide in Ben Armstrong's DMs. Maybe pop up on a new interview. I'm sure Ben's going to be asked some hard-hitting questions that, and maybe get some hard-hitting answers that people aren't expecting. All right, Caleb, what are your thoughts on, this traditional money coming in, the Chamaths? I don't want to speak on Kevin. Clearly, there's some dark forces at play there. But when it comes to a Barry Silbert, a Chamath, Polyhopatia, we know it's a necessary evil. Is it always going to be this way, though?
I think, generally speaking, when you kind of have a nascent industry or kind of investment sector, you want to traditionally see money kind of come into the space because hopefully, theoretically, it's supposed to kind of fuel innovation, fuel growth, fuel attention, the whole 9 yards, right? Unfortunately, I think a lot of people are kind of coming in as kind of fly-by-night actors looking to make a quick buck. And so that really just kind of speaks to the human nature of greed and, the whole 9 yards there. And so this whole kind of situation is really funny to me because it's, I like what Cowboy of Crypto said about the Spider-Man meme and, each of the different people pointing at each other. In my mind, it kind of reminds me of like the pot calling the kettle black, right? It's just like, everyone's just kind of trying to point their fingers at the other person, trying to assign blame, and basically, kind of using a tactic of, in a lot of ways, if we can speak out first and put blame on someone else, we can try to get the attention off of us. And so I know we would just cover this already, but when the whole Gemini letter came out from the Winklevi, that's kind of what it reminded me of. And so I come from the traditional finance space. I worked in banking for over 2 years. I worked in wealth management. I promise you, we are not all bad. And so it's just a matter of finding the right people to come into the space who can get involved and try to build from there. So that's kind of my 2 cents.
All right. Now, David, I want to ask about the enforcement arm that could be coming their way. Looks like SEC, CFTC could be getting involved. What are the odds that they're going to come after DCG and Genesis? And then I want to ask you, what are the odds that they go after Gemini and the Winklevoss? What do you think is more at risk here?
They're going to go after everybody. Well, the SEC. By the way, I just want to say I love your show and thank you very much for bringing me on.
Love having you on.
Seems like because it seems like you score points that way. So let me just go ahead and get some added points on.
You know what?
But yeah, I think
you just got 2 for that. So there you go.
Thanks. I just wanted to go ahead and say that. But also, I think the SEC, so the CFTC is actually if we're going to bring in regulation, I'm rooting for them to come in because they seem more crypto friendly. But I think the SEC comes in and goes after both. I think they will go after everybody. DCG included. I wonder what happens to CoinDesk though. Nobody's really talked about that because he owns CoinDesk. What happens to them? Do they have to sell them off? I'm really more interested in what happens to that media outlet. But yeah, the SEC is going to go after anything now due to the fact that they got slime over their face all because of FTX, and obviously not doing their job there with that scandal that we have going on.
David, quick follow-up. Did it surprise you that CoinDesk released the FTX or the Alameda balance sheet, given the DCG connection there?
Yeah, I'm actually surprised. I'm actually very surprised that they did. But listen, they're a news reporting agency, right? So they did what they did, and I'm happy that they did because now we don't have to roll into the next bull market and have FTX on our necks. Listen, I spoke to Ben before when Ben came on the podcast, and Ben was adamant that Sam was a bad guy, and Ben wins. Shout outs to Ben, man. Ben wins because everybody thought he was crazy, and now who got the last laugh? Who got the last laugh? Ben, tell him, Ben, who got the last laugh?
You're still muted, matey. Yeah, you're still muted. Talking to Allison.
But I'm muted?
No, you're good now. You're good now.
I'm good now. Somebody else had me muted. It wasn't me. I just laughed. Ha 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 ha! It was me. I had the last laugh. It was me.
All right.
Sam. It was me.
Yeah. And then I don't know if you saw that footage. Sam definitely getting jostled around there. Now, Cowboys of Crypto, you probably got a little delight out of that, I'm sure. My question to you is, Ben brought up a good point with the circle connection. There's a little bit of a DCG circle connection, but then there's also a Goldman Sachs circle connection. So as we expect some SEC and some CFTC action, is Circle going to get in the crosshairs, or do you think that they're going to get a pass?
Look, everyone is in the crosshairs. Here's what really happened, okay? So it's not just about these individual big corporations or organizations, Circle, Goldman Sachs. You could name anybody. You could name every single big player. Here's the reality. Everyone was high on hopium. 2021 just filled everyone with some kind of false confidence that we could do whatever we want with whoever people's money, and there's no regulation, so we're just going to keep on spending, we're going to keep on borrowing, we're going to keep on leveraging. And then what ended up happening, no one cared how things got regulated, no one cared about any of this kind of stuff because everyone was making money. So if we go back to, if we point out each individual person and we point out every individual organization, we could see that everyone's doing the same thing. Everyone's interconnected, and we see this with FTX, we see this with 3AC, we see this with the SEC, we see this with everyone. So I am not concerned about any individual being interconnected and how they're sharing pillow talk with each other. I'm not concerned about how each back dealing is done. It's too much for my little lizard brain to handle. And honestly, you gotta be this investigative journalist that spends all their time researching into it, like Ben and his team. I don't got that kind of time. Here's what I know, and this is just for me. In order to stay sane through this crypto winter, I'm gonna assume everyone is out for my money, and this is the truth. When you enter into a coin, people are trying to exit with your liquidity, and that is, no one's out to save you. No one's out to be safe. Everyone's going to be scammed. Everyone's going to be try to be exited on, and these big corporations, these big institutions, they're trying to take your money. You got to stay safe. You got to get into the big safe coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, or whatever you feel like is safe for you. But I have no love lost for any individual who's running a hedge fund, who's made a ton of money in 2021. We've all lost. We've all realized that there was a big defeat in 2022. And so we just have to be humble. We have to find the good stuff, that the lessons that we can learn to move on forward, and know that this will not happen again to you or me.
Yeah, if you lost money in 22, use it as a lesson. And to his point, don't be Alameda's exit liquidity, please. All right, let's move on and talk meme season. That is right. BONK, the new token. And obviously, we're not advising you to buy it. This isn't any kind of promotion or, saying, hey, this is, we're putting our seal of approval on it. But BONK has had insane action lately. Just for reference, here to here is a 2x. And so then a 2x, then another 2x. So that'd be 4. And then we're looking at 8 and 16. So quite a bit of gains to be had. Earlier today, it was at 100% gain. If we pull up in the 24-hour, you see this number was lower, so that's where we got the 24-hour. But 100% gain in the last 24 hours. Ben, my question to you is, we don't know much. I don't know the BONK team. I don't know what they're building. Probably nothing. If history is any indication. But what are your thoughts on Solana having a dog token? Solana pumping volume through the roof. Can a meme token save Solana? Maybe not this meme token, but is it possible for a meme to save Solana?
Okay, so I've been very outspoken critic about Solana, obviously, for umpteen number of reasons. But I had a lot of people DMing me today based on some stuff I said this morning, which is, this is a very typical Sam play. Like, it's very typical of Sam to create something, pump it to the moon, and then, pull the exit liquidity, whatever. I mean, he's hacked a bunch of projects. But what I'm hearing is that this is a coin that is by Orca. I don't exactly know who Orca is, but they're a prominent, group in the community of Solana. And that this is basically an anti-Solana Foundation coin. That's what this is. It's anti-Solana Foundation. So really, you're looking at kind of a civil war here in Solana is what you're looking at. You're looking at the retail investors who are coming behind this coin, and your degens, and the ones that are left in Solana. And then you're looking at your people like Chamath and the all-in podcast douches, like your VC companies that are all about your Andreessen Horowitzes and all them that were behind Solana, and their tokens are still locked up they created synthetic versions of them, so they were spinning them anyways. It's a long story, but basically this is an outcry against the Solana Foundation. And I don't know, like if this is true, what I'm being told, it's almost like by going long on BONK, you're shorting Solana. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like you're shorting the Solana Foundation by going long on BONK, and you know, I don't know, I might take a flyer on it. I don't know. Well, I haven't decided yet.
All right. Full disclosure, I think I bought $100 worth or something like that. I'm probably down 20 bucks.
You shiller!
It's not. Do not buy it. Do not buy it. Do not buy it. All right, Caleb. What are your thoughts on that? You know, he's kind of painting a civil war. We have Captain America on one side, the people in the trenches. Then we got Iron Man. We got the rich billionaires.
Hey, that's
like
America's
that.
ass.
So who do you see winning? Is it the Solana Foundation or is it the people with the dog memes?
No one wins in this scenario. Yeah, that's all I got to say. No one wins.
All right. You know what? That's actually probably worth 3 points. I would agree with that. All right. Now, David, what are your thoughts on, trying to replicate the success? We, obviously Doge, in its own ecosystem, it's a Litecoin fork, but then we have the Shiba, it's off Ethereum. It was the EVM coin. Can Solana replicate that? I mean, is there meme potential for Solana when you think of the ease of buying other tokens? Can this replicate that?
Okay, BONK, number one, it's a lottery ticket. This is crap.
Yeah.
So if you go into it, you'll lose all your money. You're going to be somebody's exit liquidity. Just letting you know, if you haven't learned your lessons from last year, you deserve it. Yes, I said that. As for Solana, yeah, you can get into Solana. That's great because when the bull market returns, it'll go up. But based on what? Based on nothing. Solana is a hardware company at best. That's it. It's never going to be anything. I'm sorry. I know the Solana people are going to come after me for this, but I'm fine with it. Solana is not the ETH killer. They should have gave a massive amount of money to and Frank to stay on the platform because they were relevant because of them. They started to go ahead. People wanted the phone. People wanted to go into their workshops. It's leaving. Everybody's leaving. And now BONK? What is BONK? They're talking about BONK is the solution to bring equity back into the Solana system. No. I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm out on both.
I would actually agree with all of that. I think it's all good points there. Now, Cowboys of Crypto, what are your thoughts? I know you have strong feelings on Solana. I know you have really strong feelings on dog coins. We're combining the two. Is it two negatives make a right here?
Look, okay, when I'm 50 years in the future, I got grandkids, about 90 grandkids around me. They're going to ask me, Pop, how did you get so rich? I'll say to them, well, Sage Bark, I got rich by investing in BONK. BONK paid for your college. It paid for your private island. It paid for, it's the future of humanity. Right now, it's sitting at 100 million market cap, I think. Look, here's what I really think. Crypto is all hype. It is not the utility of something. It is not like how it's going to change the future. Right now, if you're buying a coin, it doesn't matter what it is all based on hype, and hype is literally the strength of the community, okay? So with that in mind, I'm actually going to take a contrarian approach to this. I say, if you want to buy BONK, you invest in BONK. Why? Because you think you can be rich or whatever. Do I think you're going to be rich? No, I don't think I'm going to be rich or anything. If you want to invest in it, no problem. But here's the spirit of crypto, is that you can take your money and spend it however way you want to, and no one can tell you differently. Like I love the degens, right? If I want to spend money and buy some coin, Ping coin, BONK coin, whatever. I might be just naming my whatever, like these random coins, Shiba Inu coin. It doesn't matter. I just think that, I don't want to be embarrassed when I roll up and say like, hey guys, yeah, I'm at this rich people table because I invested in BONK. Like anyone can create a poo coin and say it's for the community, when in reality, it's a greater fool game. Like it's just, you're trying to look for exit liquidity from someone else. Everyone's in that little community saying, we're all going to the moon, we're all going to be rich. When in reality, the people who made the coin is going to exit on your entrance liquidity. If you want to say like, hey, we're all one big team, we're all one big family, just know that you're going into this, that's not really the case. Everyone in that group is going to say, you're family here, we love you, don't believe it. But at the same time, the spirit of crypto is that, hey, you want to invest in BONK, you invest in BONK.
All right, and if it's on this episode, it's probably a top signal. Sell. If you're in profit, if you're up 600%, please sell 90% of it. Please. But that is all we have time for, and it looks like Cowboy barely stole it from Ben there at the end. Ben, you're close, man. You're in second place.
Can I say one more thing so I can get 3 more points? This is a great show, and the host has been.
Oh man, oh no, you just got muted. You just got muted. Totally not up to me. I don't have that button. But Cowboys of Crypto, you lassoed the competition. Feel free to wrangle us home, buddy.
Well, I'd like to state the last bit here, just saying, hey, be sure to like the video, be sure to share the word. Around the Blockchain's got a new channel here, but I'd like to do an ode to my favorite WWE wrestler, Ric Flair. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, woo, diamond ring wearing, woo, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. So can I get 2 claps and a Ric Flair? Woo! Thanks for having me on.
That was a good one. That was a good one. And we did pass 1,000 viewers. So I just want to say thank you to the Bit Squad that migrated, watched us live. We did crack 1,000. So good job. Hit that like button just for that. And that is all we have time for. Thanks for migrating over here. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to everybody's channel here. Follow their Twitters. Always putting out great stuff. Until next time, Bit Squad. Easy out.